They turned out the lights inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, so we're in the parking lot of the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, this giant football building that they're renovating and extending, and it's becoming more than a football building. When they get this done, and there's been a lot of work on it, there's going to be a lot of other sports that are in here with football training, using this as their headquarters. But for now, we're in the parking lot. Bill Landis, Doug Lesmeri-Auth. Bill, we talked to Dwayne Haskins on Tuesday night at Ohio State, and we saw a graphic from our friends at College Football Film Room that was pointed out to us that showed that Dwayne Haskins is not throwing that many deep balls. And the question was sort of asked then, is Ohio State misusing him by not having him throw deep more often? Are they?
We're nitpicking like a whole lot right now with this team. And I guess you have to when they're good, especially as good as they've been on offense. No, they're not misusing him. They are using the entire field. And teams in the past have taken away deep shots, and then Ohio State's passing game completely fell apart. Now you take away deep shots, and Dwayne Haskins is just killing teams over the middle with receivers who are really good when they get the ball in space. He threw for 455 yards last week. No, they're not misusing him. They're taking what's given to them, but with this new passing game, they can take advantage of the entire field, where in past years they couldn't.
This is basically like the question about why aren't they running the ball better to me, which again is like, well, look at the numbers. They gained over 600 yards last week. I think the idea that they're misusing him is insane. It's ludicrous. Do you watch the games? Do you even lift? Like it's the idea of that he is dissecting defenses, and he doesn't have to throw the ball 40 yards in the air to do it. And here's the thing, and maybe if I'm in the mood, I'll break the numbers down more, but I probably won't. On a chart like that, they're talking about like ball in the air, how many yards. So if he throws like a 9-yard pass that hits a guy in stride that goes for 40 yards, on a chart like that, it's a 9-yard pass, which is fine. I get that's how you chart it. But it went for 40 yards because you have a quarterback who throws in rhythm, in windows to guys on the move. And that's the whole point. You don't have to throw it 40 yards in the air to gain 40 yards. So if the question is, because if you're asking that for real, your question is the offense not explosive enough?
Yeah.
Because that's what a deep ball is, right? Is the offense not explosive enough? I mean, I'm nowhere in that range at all of even thinking about a question like that. This is the most explosive offense that we've seen since Troy Smith and the national championship game team and the Heisman Trophy in 2006.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like, maybe people had visions of Dwayne Haskins just chucking it 50 yards every other throw, because that's kind of what Cardell did in 2014, because he had Devin Smith, and that was what Cardell was best at. Dwayne Haskins is like a complete passer. And when those deep shots have been open, they've taken them and executed them. I don't know. What's he missed? Like 2 deep balls all year? He's dropped it in a bucket every time he's thrown the ball 40 yards downfield. He just did it last week to Johnny Dixon, and he did it to Paris Campbell a couple weeks ago. When they're there, he takes them. When they're not, he can do everything else. So I don't know what we're getting worried about.
And again, they're so efficient on their drives. They scored touchdowns on 5 of the first 7 last week. I think the week before, they scored touchdowns on all 6 first-half drives. That was Tulane. Penn State, they weren't quite as much, but they did it in the fourth quarter when they needed to. They want to stay on schedule, they call it. So to like, because you're not going to hit every deep ball. So you don't want this offense off the field. So if you try a deep ball on first down and you miss it, now it's 2nd and 10. If you gain 4 yards on a first down run and you try it on 2nd and 6 and you miss it, now it's 3rd and 6. Why throw a deep ball when there are 8 to 15-yard throws there all day that you know you're going to make, the guy's completing 3/4 of his passes? So I think if they needed to throw deep to win, they could. They don't need to right now. So like if you're asking about this, you're asking why you're eating cheesecake topped with chocolate sauce for dessert, and you're asking why they don't have more whipped cream, and it just makes me want to shove the cheesecake right in your face. Do you like cheesecake?
I love cheesecake. Yeah, but I don't like when you dress it up. Just give me the cheesecake.
Yeah, no fruit.
No fruit.
Was that an okay dessert analogy, or should I have gotten more fancy?
No, yeah, I think people want more sweet on top of something that's already sweet. Just eat the sweet thing.
It's already sweet. The words of Bill Landis. See you later at cleveland.com.